The Houston Rockets are having a fantastic offseason. The trade for Kevin Durant, where you sent out Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, phenomenal trade because you upgrade the offense for a more reliable number one option. You kept Sengun. You re-signed Van Fleet for 2 years on $50 million. So in 2 seasons from now, if you can't re-sign him, you get him off your books. You get Steven Adams for 3 more seasons on $39 million. So that's 13 a year. Really good contract. You bring in Dorian Finney-Smith, 4 years, $53 million. He's 32 years old. He's a really good role player on a championship level team. He has shown to make an impact. We saw with Luka, with the Mavericks made that Western Conference Finals, how big of a role he played on that team. And now you add him next to guys like Jabari Smith, who got extended for 5 years as well. So he's going to be around $122 million a year. I'm sorry, for his contract, not per year. And then you still have Tari Eason, Cam Whitmore. So you could still improve this roster if you need to. Let's just say it doesn't work out with Kevin Durant, but I think it will as long as he can stay healthy. That's one of the biggest things that has happened with Kevin Durant. He has really good seasons, but he has these injuries that happen, and hopefully he can stay healthy enough. I'm not saying he's been out for the entire year, but he's had injuries. He's had ankle problems, and then it affects him in the playoffs, and he's just not as healthy. So if they can manage Kevin Durant, and maybe they just sit out Durant for some games, that will help. And also keep this in mind. Durant teaching guys like Amen Thompson how to get better on offense. I think that's going to do wonders for Amen Thompson's development because we know Amen Thompson has untapped potential. We know his defensive upside is fantastic. The dude can lock folks up. He gives me Kawhi Leonard vibes if he can reach an offensive ceiling. We just don't know if that's going to happen or not. But man, you got another 3-and-D wing guy who is a veteran. And then on top of that, you bring in Clint Capella at 3 years and $21.5 million, so $7 million a year. Their front court, Steven Adams, Sengun, and Clint Capella, is going to be some scary stuff because they're going to be dominating the backboard. So if they have their nights where they're struggling on offense, let's say Durant is out, they can win with second chance offense. And then you can rely on Van Fleet. If Jabari Smith gets a little bit better on offense, that's another win for the Rockets. He's only 22 years old. You've got a nice mix of veterans and young guys on this team. We have an NBA champion in Van Fleet. You also brought back Jeff Green. It was just a good veteran presence in the locker room. You get off Dylan Brooks, who can be a little bit erratic. I think he made a good impact in Houston, but the fouling can be annoying to watch. But you moved off him. Your offense should be better. I don't think it's going to be like drastically better, but the defense, my goodness, they can run so many different lineups. And then you're going to bring in Reed Shepherd. I think he'll get a bigger role. That's what they've been saying. So Houston, man, they should be the second best team in the Western Conference. They have a legit shot of knocking off OKC. I really do believe that. It just depends on how this team comes together with the chemistry because OKC is going to have the reps in. They've got the championship. But when you're a champion, there's a target on your back. And will the young guys still be as hungry and motivated to go out and go back to back? And also, injuries are also a big part of the NBA. I'm not saying this will happen to OKC, but it's been very hard to repeat. There's been no repeat champion since the Warriors. So I think OKC has the best chance to get it done. But man, Houston's going to have a great shot because they have so much front court depth that can attack OKC. Remember, OKC, they've got some bigs, but they still are limited there. So I would expect, Steven Adams, Capella, and Sengun to just absolutely destroy them on the backboard. So really, it just comes down to how much the offense grows. Is Amen Thompson going to get better? Can Kevin Durant carry that load night in and night out? And can he stay healthy enough? Can Sengun take another leap? Will Jabari Smith take another leap? There's a lot of questions that will be answered, but I think defensively this team is going to be a nightmare to deal with. The rebounding is going to be just hard to deal with. Good luck dealing with a team with all these athletes and length. I mean, my goodness, they're going to be a major problem on the backboards. And who knows if Cam Whitmore will get better. So they've got a lot of good young pieces with potential. Whitmore's only 20 years old, and you got your veterans on this roster. I love what Houston is doing here. I love that they extended guys like Jabari Smith. They extended guys like Steven Adams, who's showed in the playoffs his value. The Rockets on the backboards destroyed the Warriors. That's how they stayed in games and how they got back in that series. And you kept Van Fleet, again, another good veteran who showed up, I think, after game 3. I called it, he put on his Raptors jersey because he absolutely destroyed the Warriors on offense. He was phenomenal over the last like 3 or 4 games. But yeah, I think offensively the Rockets should be a little bit better. We'll see if they, take another leap, because if Amen Thompson goes from 14 points a night to like 24 points and his jump shot's more consistent, because he shot from the field, let me see the numbers, 55% from the field, but a lot of that was inside the paint. But if he has a more reliable jump shot, and this is where Kevin Durant can really mentor him and help him get to that next level. And if that happens, all of a sudden Houston's offense is just scary good. And you can make an argument that they can win the championship because you have easy money sniper and Kevin Durant. You've got other guys on this roster who can crash the glass. And you have Ime Udoka, who has been to the NBA Finals. I understand they didn't win it with Boston, but you got your vets. Van Fleet is going to be reliable in the playoffs. He's always, taking his game to a new level. And, who knows what's going to happen with Cam Whitmore. It will Reed Shepherd play a pivotal role. And maybe Houston makes another move. They still got guys on this roster they could trade to upgrade it. But they are showing the NBA right now they want to win it next year. They're in win now mode. And I love it. I think it's great for the Rockets to take this step. And they made a decision with Jalen Green. And, hopefully he can rebuild his value. I know he struggled mightily in the playoffs and he was up and down the regular season. But I think for Jalen Green, this would be a good change of scenery where, not a lot of pressures on him in Phoenix. And if he can thrive there and, rebuild, some of his career, shout out to him. Hopefully that happens. But yeah, man, the Rockets, it's going to be a fun team. They're going to be really good, physical, tough, gritty. And you plug in Kevin Durant. And if Amen Thompson can go to that new level, you add some depth. Well, let's just say you got to move off a guy because they're not performing at the level you expected, and you get another impact player. The Rockets are right there. So I love what Houston's doing. I love that they're sticking to their brand of basketball with the physicality, the front court depth. It's all important. So shout out to Houston, man. You guys are really cooking this offseason. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I'd love to hear your thoughts about the Rockets offseason. What are your expectations for them coming into next season? Do you expect them to make the NBA Finals, win the championship? Love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.